Welcome to the Disneyland with Kids podcast, where we help you plan your vacation in 30 minutes or less. Wondering what's happening at Disneyland? How's Halloween time looking? What are the crowd levels like? When do the holidays start? Get all the answers to this and more by joining the Disneyland with Kids group on Facebook. It's season 3 of the Disneyland with Kids podcast, and we are kicking it off here. We are in the parks together, all 4 of the co-hosts, and we're going to go around and introduce ourselves, and then we will be back to do a really quick podcast for you today about our favorites that are happening at Disneyland right now and what we're most looking forward to. I'm Becca with this crazy adventure called Life.
And I'm Leslie from Trips with Tykes.
I'm Jessica from the happiest blog on earth.
And I'm Julie from Mom Rewritten.
All right, ladies, I thought a fun way, confession. Jessica thought a fun way to kick off season 3 was to do a little top 3. And I think that's a great idea. We're here at Disneyland enjoying some time together. And so that's what we're going to do. And I did not give any of you guys time to prep for this list. And so I'm going to ramble some stuff off, hand you the microphone, and you're going to tell us your top 3 for that category. So first up is your top 3 food items at Disneyland Resort. And we'll start with our resident foodie, Jessica.
Ooh, top 3 food items. I'm going to start with breakfast. It's going to be at Jolly Holiday Bakery, and I will have the breakfast croissant sandwich that I have every time, and I love it. You can order it by itself or have fruit with it. So let's go to lunch then, since we're talking 3 things. Man, I usually go so basic, and I do like a corn dog or chicken tenders somewhere. And then when it's dinner time, I would like to chill out at Lamplight Lounge and get myself some lobster nachos or some of the seasonal offerings. Like they've had barbacoa nachos lately. Those are amazing.
Okay, I think I'm going to go next just so nobody steals my answers. Hey, Leslie, you said that's the beauty of going first on a live we just did. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Maybe I'll throw in a snack instead of one of those. But for breakfast, I have to say it's Lamplight Lounge. That brunch is technically brunch, they say, but it's breakfast, and it's really good. Everything there was good. I can't think of anything that wasn't good there. And then I'm going to skip lunch, instead do a snack, and that's my Mickey's Premium Ice Cream Bar. Gotta have it. And then for dinner, anyone who knows me, you guys know I'm not a foodie, but I always suggest the Plaza Inn for dinner. I love it. I love the fried chicken dinner. I love that it can feed multiple people with one plate. All right, so we will let Leslie go next because Julie's still thinking. I think we stole our answers.
All right, so I am not so much of a foodie, but I like to snack my way around the park. So like the little snacks, I don't sit down for meals quite as often as some of these other ladies, but I am a churro girl. I love a good churro. I mean, just the classic is always delicious. And when I do sit down for a meal, being a Southerner, I always go to Blue Bayou, and I can highly, highly recommend the jambalaya there. So that anything with like shrimp is always high on my list. And then I'm just gonna have to go with a good old-fashioned Dole Whip too. I mean, like I said, snacks around the park, can't go wrong with that, especially on a hot day, and there are a lot of those at Disneyland.
All right, Julie, you have to have an answer now. You can't delay anymore.
Well, as a family that's usually on a budget, we usually pack a lot of food in. So we don't always eat in the park. So usually breakfast is at the hotel and we just bring granola bars in. But I'm with Jessica as far as Jolly Holiday. I love the food there, but I'm a sweet tooth. So I have to say the raspberry macaron at Jolly Holiday, that could be my breakfast. And for lunch, I'm going to say beignets and a mint julep from French Market. And everybody knows my dinner is going to come from Gibson Girl ice cream because I always have a waffle cone for my dinner.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you didn't say Gibson Girl at some point, there was something wrong with you. All right, ladies. Well, we've got our top 3 foods. Now, here's what I want. What are the 3 attractions that can be rides, shows, anything that you think are the most underrated that people should do? So the ones that people will often skip but you think they should do? And I'll go first because that's a hard one. So I'm going to go first. If you have kids, I totally think Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island is something that's completely underrated. People just often walk by it, don't even think about it, but it's a great place to take your kids to let them burn off energy. Another one is the animation building, all the shows in there, but especially Turtle Talk with Crush is so much fun. They let the kids ask questions and answer, and kids love it. And then I think the third one for me is going to have to be the Mark Twain Riverboat. I did it last night, so it's kind of fresh in my mind, and it's just so relaxing, especially if you go right at dusk, and it's fun. Okay, so Julie, you were the last time, so now you get to go second.
Okay, so I really love the Disney Junior Dance Party, especially if you have little kids. They love to get in there and dance and kind of get the wiggles out, and it's air conditioned, even though you're going to have to sit on the floor. You definitely have to sit on the floor. I would also say the Disneyland Band. I just love marching bands. I love the drums, and we were able to see them today. They kind of did a little circle down Main Street, and it was wonderful to see the band back in action again. And then this is a seasonal thing, and I would say you can't miss the musical celebration of Coco. We just watched it not that long ago. A small crowd kind of gathers around in front of the Plaza de Familia, and it really is a wonderful show. You can't miss it.
Underrated things, I would have to say Animation Academy for drawing characters. Like, we started taking our kids there as young as 2 years old, and it's amazing that they come out with something that resembles like Mickey Mouse, because the instructors are just so fantastic. If we ever get it back, Frozen. I love Frozen, and my kids like make fun of me because they say Mom always makes us go to Frozen, and it's true, because live performers, and that's something that I've enjoyed seeing come back at Disneyland so much. So really, in any capacity, if you stop and just give 30 seconds of your time to those live performers that you're walking by, you won't regret it. Another underrated thing is Main Street vehicles. Try one of them. Try all of them. It feels pretty cool to be sitting in those and going down Main Street, and it's like everyone looks at you like, how did you get to do that? And everyone can do it, and it's free, and it takes like just a few minutes, and you get to travel in the old ways, just like Main Street USA is themed to.
All right, so save the best for last. I love doing rides, so there really aren't any that I ever miss. But one that I think a lot of people actually skip is Little Mermaid, which is such a lovely family-friendly ride. The wait is usually really, really short, even when lines are long elsewhere in the park. It's an indoor air-conditioned attraction, so it's a great place to cool off. So that's kind of like my standby when nothing else is working out with the ride situation. So definitely recommend that. Don't skip that one. Another thing I love to do in the parks that a lot of families miss is just go and explore Toontown, especially if you have young kids. I mean, I'm always racing from ride to ride, but just giving my kids free play time in Toontown. They love just exploring the nooks and crannies and really can just entertain themselves there, and they beg to go there every time we're there. So highly recommend that, and even my 12-year-old still enjoys it. So it's not just for like the toddlers. And then last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to the group returning today, the Dapper Dans that perform on Main Street. The a cappella group is just amazing, tight harmonies. My husband used to be a singer, so I have a little special place in my heart for a cappella, and definitely worth checking out. I sometimes just miss them, even though I love them so much, because I'm deep into the park and I'm not on Main Street sort of when they come out in the middle of the day. So check the app and look for the showtime so you don't miss them.
Oh, those are great answers. I agreed with every single one of those. So we want to keep this one kind of short today, ladies. So this is what I'm going to do. We had a crazy 2020, 2021. The parks have reopened slowly. Not everything is back yet. So I want you to list 3 things, and we're probably going to do some duplicates, but 3 things that you are looking forward to returning to the parks that aren't not back yet. So I'm going to go first again just so nobody can take my answers. Leslie's shaking her head at me like, you turd. Anyways, so mine, I have to say one of them is the nighttime entertainment. And so you guys can say a specific show if you want, but I'm just saying in general, the nighttime entertainment for me. World of Color, Fantasmic, nighttime parades, and I really hope those come back soon. I'm glad we're seeing some parades back, but I'd love to see Paint the Night, bring back Paint the Night, hashtag bring back Paint the Night. Come on, Disney. But that's one thing I'd like to see return. Another is I do want to see character meet and greets that you can go up and hug. I love what they're doing now. I'd like to see a great mix. I'd love to see Mickey in his house where you can go hug him again, but still have the stuff they have going on in the parks. And then the third one for me is going to have to be, I don't know if they'll bring it back. I hope they will. Extra Magic Hour and Magic Morning. I miss my extra hour in the park. Okay, we'll let Leslie go next.
All right, so I really want Magic Happens to come back. The parade that we only got for a few weeks right before the closures. It was such a fun time. So fingers crossed that those performers get to come back. Really want characters back, character dining back at Goofy's Kitchen. I know it's coming. There's not a date announced yet. Now that I've recorded this on the podcast, it probably will be announced before we release this.
It's already rumored.
Yeah, no, I know it's rumored it's rumored in time for my next vacation, so I'm excited about that. But definitely want characters back there. And I'd love for World of Color to come back. I mean, I'm definitely missing that this Halloween season because they do Villainous at Oogie Boogie Bash. And of course, that's on pause this year. So hoping for the return of that eventually. I think it might be a while, but fingers crossed.
Okay, one thing that I really want back is a food item, and it's so simple, but I love soft serve ice cream or frozen yogurt with rainbow sprinkles. And as far as I know, you can only get that in Toontown. So the last time I had it, Julie went with me to Toontown, and then we trekked all the way back up to Gibson Girls so she could have her dinner. You know, we just did a little dual ice cream dinner there. And then Frozen again. I love Broadway style performances, and the Frozen musical is nothing short of that. It's so amazing and air conditioned. If you have people who aren't as into it, they can just relax. So for the third thing that I wish they would bring back, I would love to see a little modification with the park hopping. I've just seen how much I wish I could do that earlier in the day and have a little more flexibility. So maybe there'll be something they can adjust there. That's my hope for the future. And Julie's next.
So I think we're all missing Fast Pass, and right now we don't really need it because the wait times are lower, but I know that park capacity is going to increase and we're going to want it back. I mean, it's coming back, but it'll be, you know, with the Disney Genie, and it will be Lightning Lane. So we just want some information. When is it coming? When can we expect it? You know, all of the details. Give us all the details. We don't want to wait anymore. And then I just have to reiterate, I'm glad that fireworks are back. But yes, nighttime spectaculars, we need those, and parades. We love the parades. Bring back the entertainment.
All right. I think we had a lot of fun here sharing our favorites and sharing what we're looking forward to coming back. That's all the time we have on here, but we do have to finish with our Would You Rather. And so since we're here at Halloween time, I think a good Would You Rather is, if you had to choose, would you spend your Halloween day, if you only had one day in one park, in California Adventure or in Disneyland Park? So I'm going to let Julie go first.
I have to go with Disneyland. I love the pumpkins on Main Street. I love the big jack-o'-lantern and just the general theme. And Haunted Mansion Holiday, of course. All right, Jessica.
I think this is one of the few that I'm going to say California Adventure. You know, Disneyland seems to always win, but Cars Land really goes over the top. It's amazing. And all the purple lights at night on Buena Vista Street and Carthay Circle. There's so many things to do and see and eat at California Adventure during Halloween time. Leslie, you're up.
All right, I'm with Julie. I'm all about Disneyland during Halloween time because it's where the classics are. I do love the Mickey Pumpkin, Haunted Mansion Holiday, just seeing the orange and yellow decorations everywhere on all the lampposts and things like that. And I love Halloween screams, love seeing like the projections and the fireworks. So that's definitely my favorite. All right, Becca.
All right, looks like we're ending with an even tie because I have to choose California Adventure for this because I just love the musical celebration of Coco, the Plaza de la Familia, and Cars Land, and there's more ride layovers here, though I do love the Haunted Mansion Holiday. So that's all the time we have for you. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast if you enjoyed this. We are looking forward to sharing even more Disneyland tips with you here in Season 3. And don't forget that you can get the best deals for your Disneyland vacation by visiting our partners at disneylandwithkids.info/book. And we will see you real soon.